Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Grant Fluff from Floodsters Sports Zone, and welcome to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoff Prediction Videos. Oh boy, this is going to be a fun one. I'll be predicting the first round straight through the Stanley Cup Finals. If injuries happen, if I'm completely wrong after the first round, it doesn't matter. This is my only crack at it. This is my official bracket on ESPN. We are doing this. So, we're going to begin out of the Eastern Conference, all right? Unfortunately, the Bruins suck. My favorite team didn't make it this year. We always start these videos out of the Eastern Conference. Maple Leafs and Senators. Now, as I mentioned, Bruins fan, big Linus Ullmark guy. I knew trading him would be a mistake, and he has ran away with this opportunity in Ottawa. This is such a fun team to watch, and I really think the trade for Dylan Cousins at the trade deadline put this team over the edge. They got rid of Josh Norris, massive contract, send it to Buffalo, get rid of a younger defenseman as well, Dockett. They got rid of him. They got rid of Norris. They brought in Dylan Cousins. Ottawa made their splash move at the trade deadline, and it worked. This has been just a very solid group, and I couldn't be happier to see them back in the playoffs. This is their first time in the playoffs since 2017 when they lost to the Penguins in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, the Leafs, they won the Atlantic Division a lot closer than I thought. I mean, and honestly, until the Panthers got injury-prone towards the end of the year, it really looked like Florida was going to win the division. They jumped down to third. Tampa Bay, they got hot at the end of the season. Tampa Bay, they could score goals at will. Kucherov with another 100-point season, and it's definitely going to be exciting to see that. We'll get to that in a minute. For Toronto, Ottawa, I got to go Toronto here. It's going to go 7. It goes minimum 6, but I think Toronto wins the series in 7. Got to give it to the more experienced team. Linus Ullmark hasn't been spectacular. I mean, let's be blunt, right? Allmark, great regular season goalie. When it comes to his time with the Bruins in 22 and 23, he was Swayman, in my opinion, was the better goalie in both of those playoff runs for the Bruins than Allmark. So that was a year where Allmark did win the Vezina. So again, I think Allmark, he can steal a game or two, but I don't know if I trust him to win a playoff series on his own. And I think when it comes to depth scoring, I think you got to give it to Toronto. Shout out Matthew Nice for turning into a player of his own. I mean, is he a product of Matthews or Tavares? He could be, but he has been really solid. I think he got over 60 points this year. He had a great year. Mitch Marner, he's been tearing it up since the trade deadline. And overall, Toronto's D-core is pretty solid. Morgan Riley leading the way there. I think you got to give it to the more experienced team, but Ottawa's time is coming. As for Panthers and Lightning, for what is, I mean, everyone's complaining about Edmonton and Los Angeles playing, like 4 years in a row? Goodness, Lightning and Panthers feels like it's the exact same way. Give me Panthers here in 6, just like last year. Tampa Bay, good team. They have Kucherov. They have Point. But I think when it comes down to, I guess Tampa Bay has a lot of playoff experience too. But after Florida, they have all this momentum of going to the Cup Finals. I don't see them losing in round 1. They are a very experienced team. Now, they're going to be without Ekblad. They're going to be without Tkachuk. But playoff Sergei Bobrovsky is a thing. Not many goalies are worlds above how they play in the regular season. Sergei Bobrovsky is that goalie. Him and Aiden Hill out of the Western Conference, they can be as average as they come in the regular season, but the second the playoffs come around, oh my God, are they scary to play against. Give me Panthers in 6. I don't know if, the acquisition of Brad Marchand's going to help them get over the top. I primarily think Bobrovsky's going to get them to where they need to be. Give me Florida in 6. Moving down in the East, we have the Washington Capitals. I am wearing my Ovechkin jersey right now. Against Montreal Canadiens, who just clinched a playoff spot after their win over the Hurricanes last night. Oh man, I'm gonna say it. I think this is going 7, regardless of who wins, and this is the series that I have been flip flopping. Believe it or not, this has been the series I have been flip flopping a winner on. Sam Montembeau, I don't know how he is as a playoff goalie. I don't know if he's played in playoff games with Florida before. I'm gonna assume he hasn't. So definitely. I guess Washington's kind of a question on their own. Do they go with Thompson? Do they go with Lindgren? They just paid Logan Thompson a lot of money. They acquired him during the draft last year, but then they re-signed Charlie Lindgren about a month ago to a 3-year deal. So I don't really know who's Washington started. They kind of have a monster two-headed monster in goaltending. So it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna be honest. The Capitals have looked pretty sluggish. I think they come into the playoffs losing 4 of their last 7, something like that. They really just haven't cared since Ovechkin broke the regular season goal record. And, I always go into the playoffs on a bang. I'm never a fan of, you have to rest players to rest your players for the playoffs. But, I mean, at the same time, you got to play your starters if you notice you're struggling a little bit, right? Now, again, I know they were on a third-string goalie last Saturday against Columbus, but when they lost 7-0, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced Washington is who they made it out to be. And honestly, Winnipeg, in the grand scheme of things, kind of ran away with the President's Trophy at the end there. Washington was in contention. That being said, I have been clamoring Montreal, but I don't know if I am comfortable enough to do it. I really don't know. I think I'm going to. I'm going to go upset. Whoa, as my computer glitches off for a second. I'm going to go Montreal wins it in 7. Game 7 goes into overtime. Montreal wins it. Again, I would prefer if you go into the playoffs on a hot streak instead of a cold streak. Montreal's the better team right now. On paper, Washington destroys them on paper. But Montreal, they're coming in hot. No one expected them to do anything in 2021. They made the Stanley Cup final that year. Watch out. I don't know how good Montembeau is as a goaltender in these situations, but Montreal's defense is good enough to stop Washington's offense, and I think Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Brandon Gallagher, and the rest of the crew can get the job done. Canadians in 7. Ooh, I mean, we got to pick some upsets, don't we? Carolina beats New Jersey, and I'm not even going to go much into detail with this one. New Jersey, I'll go Carolina in 6. New Jersey is without Jack Hughes. Sure, Nico Heischer's fine. Timo Meyer's fine, but I don't think they have the offense to really make it far. Their trade deadline acquisitions were Cody Glass and Mark McLaughlin, for crying out loud. I really don't. New Jersey's a good regular season team. Just don't bank on them doing anything in the playoffs. Jacob Markstrom, he's shown in Calgary, not the most reliable playoff goalie. I hate to say it. That's the one I'm most confident in. Carolina beats New Jersey in 6. Moving to the western side of things, on the left of your screen, Winnipeg, St. Louis. Surprisingly, I'm more confident in picking Carolina over New Jersey than I am picking Winnipeg over St. Louis. St. Louis is scary. And, oh my God, as a Bruins fan, if the Blues go on a Cinderella run, I saw Bruce Cassidy go on his Cinderella run with Vegas. If I have to see it again with Jim Montgomery, that would just be really frustrating. Blues are great. They've arguably been the most dangerous team since the trade deadline, but I do think they simmer it down just a little bit and they lose to Winnipeg, but they're going to steal 1 or 2. I think Jordan Kyrou's in for a big series. Dallas, Colorado. Oh boy. Did this series get interesting? Gabriel Landeskog potentially returning to the Avalanche during the playoffs. Jason Robertson might potentially miss the first round series for Dallas. Dallas is also going to be without Tyler Seguin for round 1. Ooh, boy. This got interesting. I thought Dallas was the clear-cut Cup favorite. And if you look at their roster from top to bottom, they have the most talented roster in the National Hockey League. My problem is oh my God, they're injured. And now I'm scared to like buy into the hype, right? I don't want to buy into this hype. Now, the good news is if Robertson's out, he's only out for round 1. He might even come back during round 1, but he's definitely going to miss the first 2 to 4 games of this series. You got to think Colorado's got an opportunity. Colorado, I mean, everyone was worried about them struggling so much back in October. And the second they got Mackenzie Blackwood, man, it just shot right up for them. I knew oh my goodness, I'm saying Carolina, I meant to say Colorado I knew their season wasn't over by a long shot. Very talented team with Cale Makar. They got Marty Nashis in the Mikko Rantanen deal back in January. And honestly, they've been pretty much floating ever since then. Like the Stars are the toughest challenge they have. I mean, it really sucks that one of these two Goliaths are going to have to go on the first round. I'm going to go Dallas in 7. That was my original prediction. But my God, it's looking pretty scary for Dallas, especially if they suffer another injury or 2. Moving on to Vegas and Minnesota, sleeper series. You know how to talk about a series that's going to steal the show in the first round of the playoffs? That's either going to be Washington, Montreal, or this one, man. Minnesota is really, really good, and they have Kirill Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson-Ek back in the lineup just in the nick of time for this playoff run. What else did Minnesota do? They acquired Gustav Nyquist. I'm trying to think what they've done on paper. This is Marc-Andre Fleury's last run. The Wild, whenever their season is over, Marc-Andre Fleury will announce his retirement. I think this Gustafson's ready to go anyway. Gustafson's really good. I'm a big fan of Philip Gustafson. Minnesota's defense is good. Spurgeon, Faber, not bad, but Vegas is Vegas, and I'm not sure what injuries they have right off the bat, but Mark Stone's healthy. Jack Eichel has been struggling, but I think Vegas gets it done in 6. Very good series, though. I expect Minnesota to definitely win at minimum 2 games, if not even go 7. Lastly, we have Oilers and Kings. The Kings just don't lose at home ice. They are literally immune to losing at home ice. But Edmonton's star power is something off the charts. I mean, McDavid, Draisaitl, Evander Kane, Warren Foegele, surprisingly, been a hot spot for Los Angeles. So I guess we're going to have a Warren Foegele revenge series if anyone cares. But no, Edmonton's great. Bouchard, great defenseman. Darnell Nurse, overpaid, sure, but he does his job. You got to go with the more experienced team here. Now, I like the fact that Kuzmenko was acquired by the Kings at the trade deadline. He's been a really good fit for them. Adrian Kempe having the best season of his career. I'm not saying Kopitar is aging like fine wine, but the Kings look good. The Kings look good, and it has nothing to do with Darcy Kemper, none of that. Their defense is fine. Their bottom 6 is solid enough to go on a run. Kempe and Quentin Byfield are coming off career years. But again, Edmonton's star power, they're very one-dimensional. Like the second you shut down McDavid, Draisaitl, or Hyman, like they're gonna struggle. But the thing is, one of those players in the offense is gonna go off. That's why I have Edmonton winning in 7. My crazy theory for this: Kings win games 1 and 2 in LA. Edmonton wins games 3 and 4 in Edmonton. Kings win game 5 in LA. Oilers win game 6 in Edmonton. And then, yes, I do have the Oilers bucking the trend and winning in game 7. Okay, so this is going to be very interesting. So, again, we'll shift back to the East because I think predicting one entire conference is really boring. Shifting around here to the second round. Panthers Leafs for what? The 3rd straight year, if I'm not mistaken. Give me Florida. Again, I am never a big Leafs guy ever. I'm not convinced they really perform that well in the playoffs. Mitch Marner doesn't do a whole lot in the playoffs. Neither does Matthews. Neither does Tavares. Joseph Woll looked really good in what I've seen from him in postseason play. And in general, him and Stolars is a good 1-2 combo. But I think Wool's going to be the main starter, I'm assuming, for Toronto. And again, I know Florida's a little banged up right now. I think by this point they might have Ekblad back around this time. And I just think that's going to put them over the edge. Florida's defense is good enough to slow down Toronto's offense. I truly believe that. Carolina, Montreal. Montreal, it was a nice run. Thanks for eliminating Washington. I'll go confidently Canes in 5. Montreal's weird. I'm confident enough in Montreal winning a series. Winning 2 series, 3 series. No, they don't have the depth for that. I think Carolina is the most complete team in the Eastern Conference right now on paper, in terms of healthy roster, in terms of who they got. I know obviously Mikko Rantanen didn't really work out for them, but it didn't really seem to affect them too much. Overall, I do think Carolina will beat Montreal. As for Dallas and Winnipeg, all right, by this point, Robertson's back. I also think by this point, the Stars are in a groove. Give me Dallas in 6. I've just not really. Winnipeg can be great. They can make the playoffs as the last wild card team. Every year I view Winnipeg as the same team. Now, it's good. They're re-signing Alex Iafallo. They just re-signed Neil Pionk today. Great for them. They should keep their core around. Until history proves me otherwise, I just don't see a world where Winnipeg is a threat in the playoffs. I never have, and I know Hellebuck is always this fantastic regular season goalie. Last year was proof in the pudding. Winnipeg against Colorado. They should have realistically won that series. They lost in 5, and the one game they won was in a shootout. They won that game like 7-6. Like, oh my goodness. How in the world do you have this good of a defense and goaltending and you struggle? Dallas is more built for the playoffs, in my opinion, especially after getting Mikko Rantanen. Give me Dallas. They are a very, very good team. As for Vegas and Edmonton, I'm going to go Vegas in 7 here. Good series. Stuart Skinner will maybe steal a game or 2 in this one, but at the end of the day, I think Vegas is right next to Dallas and Carolina, the most complete team in the playoffs. It's going to be tough for Edmonton to make it back, man. They really blew their opportunity last year. In my opinion, I don't see them making it that far again with their current core. Eastern and Western Conference Finals, Panthers, Hurricanes. Give me Carolina in this one. I'm going to pick Carolina in 6. I've never been the biggest Rob Brind'Amour fan ever. I'll say it. I think he's a generational playoff choker, and he does not get half of the media I guess, yelling at him, or half the media, the media treats him like a saint when how many times has Carolina blew it in the second round, blew it in the Eastern Conference Finals, favored to win against the Rangers in 22 and lost, favored to win against the the Panthers in 23 and lost. What did they lose to last year? Wasn't it the Rangers again? I mean, oh my God. Really, man, really. A lot of series that the Hurricanes have been favored to win over the past couple of years, they have not gotten the job done. I'm giving them one last opportunity. I'm treating the Hurricanes like how I treat the Buffalo Bills in football. This is their last shot. If they do not make the finals, it's done with that core. And my God, how much hotter can Rob Brind'Amour's seat get? I am so sick and tired of the hockey media. Oh, well, Rob Brind'Amour's a great coach. Dude, you guys, oh boy. Again, that's just my beef with Rob Brind'Amour and the NHL media community. But oh my God, this is the year I've been saying it for the past 2 years. This is the year Carolina gets over the hump and they make the Stanley Cup Finals. And if they don't, oh, God help me if they don't, Rob Brendamore, your seat scorching. And it should be scorching. Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, great forward core. D-core is very good as well. I think they extended Jakob Slavin to a huge deal. I mean, this is the time to do it. This is the roster to do it. You have Anderson and Kochenkov, two really strong goalies. Go out, prove the doubters wrong, make the finals. Okay. Dallas and Vegas. Woo, this is a good one. And last year, this was first round series. It went 7. Dallas won. I'm going to go Dallas once again in 7 games. Again, I think by this point, Dallas is healthy, and they're the most complete team in the league. Vegas definitely has the star power to make the Western Conference Finals, could definitely win a game or 2, or maybe even 3 in that finals. They could even win the whole thing. But I do think Dallas gets the job done in 7. And here we are, Dallas, Carolina. So I would make this whole dramatic thing, like game 1 goes to this team, game 2, but let's just rip the Band-Aid off. The Dallas Stars are going to win the Stanley Cup Finals this year. That is my prediction. They will beat the Hurricanes in 6 in what will be a very, very good series. Now, this is going to feel great for so many reasons. 1, Peter DeBoer finally gets his ring. Dallas has been contending for the Cup since 2020. They haven't got it done. They haven't made it since 2020, but they have got it. They have the roster to finally do it. Their defense is good enough. Ottinger was better statistically last year, but in general, Ottinger is a great goalie to have in the playoffs. I think Dallas wins it in 6 this year. And if I had to do my tiebreaker for my little bracket thing, how many total goals we scored? I'm not going to go much. I'll go 35. Well, wait a minute. 4, 7, 14, 21, 35. We'll go with 40. We'll go 42. We'll go with, let's say, 42. I think it's going to be a low-scoring series. Give me Dallas. Submit the bracket. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video and letting me ramble about hockey for 20 minutes. I feel like it's been forever since I have made a hockey video on this channel. But with the playoffs starting this Saturday, I wanted to make one just for you to give my predictions. I have the Dallas Stars defeating Carolina Hurricanes in 6 games and winning their first Stanley Cup since 1999. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please give me your Stanley Cup final prediction. Who you think is going to win the Conn Smythe? I'm going to throw it out there. Miro Heiskanen will. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. If you do, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.